Okay, welcome KARV members. What I would like to do today is introduce version 2 of the KARV protocol. Version 1 started with pure kinesthetics, a la what Lynn Buchanan and Laurie Williams were doing, which involved setting up multiple taste, smell, sounds, or colors. I don't know if they ever did texture, but you certainly could do texture. And then associating that direct kinesthetic approach, prediction, feeling about the feeling you were going to have once the outcome was known as feedback, and those would be associated with the various potential outcomes. There are other kinesthetic approaches, such as the pendulum, and in fact, I think Jenny, you might tell us some of the other approaches I think that you use, but let's not do that now. The idea here in this second protocol, which we've experimented a little bit with up to now, but now I'd like to make it more formal and have it become part of the app database. It was being done in a spreadsheet before, and to get the stats out of that, it turned out to be, I found, rather difficult at the detailed level I wanted to do. So I want to get it into a kind of a standard app format. Now, the idea here is really relatively simple in principle, and that is by combining the directly kinesthetic ARV approach, which are the ones down here, with the standard photosite ARV approach, where your task is to describe and sketch a photosite that you'll see in the future, is to get corroboration. So by combining these two approaches, you can actually get corroboration by getting agreement. And that, in fact, is what I want to not only talk about, I want to do right after this slide. So, in principle, you can do the directly kinesthetic ARV before or after the standard ARV. Up to now, we've been doing it before, and the protocol we're in here now will, in fact, permit that. But I am going to suggest that we all actually go for and try and do the after the standard ARV. And this is really based on WWC Dinner's approach, where at the group prediction level, Scott would really get into it. You know, he was, I believe, even at the subconscious level, getting information not only from the direct transcripts and predictions that he was seeing from multiple members, but was also entangled to a certain extent with the outcome, so that when he felt it was appropriate, and sometimes it was so clear, I guess it wasn't even appropriate, but when he felt it was appropriate, he would use a pendulum, and he described this in a webinar, basically asking through the pendulum, which is just one form of asking your body, a kinesthetic approach, is this prediction correct? And he would get a yes, no, or maybe. So he would then have that final step as corroboration from the analysis that he did before. So we're really picking this up in that format, except it will be on an individual basis. Okay, so did that explanation make sense? Because I think the next step is to actually do it, which hopefully will make even more sense. But are there any questions now associated with this?
So when you're saying do the standard first, you're talking about doing the photo site or the KRV?
Doing we standard is the we protocol is now set up to do standard ARV, and I'm going to go through it with me right now, which means you're going to describe and sketch a photo site that you'll be seeing as feedback after the Super Bowl game. So I've
Okay.
just sent out a tasking, and when you click here, this will take you to the standard Wii, but I want to show you that I recommend using a single version, and we'll see that in a moment. In fact, I think I'm going to actually change it so for KARV members, there's no choice. I can make that program change.
All
Um,
right.
okay, so you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah, yeah.
I, I'm
What does we stand for? WE. It's what is we?
winning entanglements.
Okay.
So there's actually a website that describes that, 1arv.com slash capital W, capital E, if you ever want to
Oh,
see it.
okay.
Or you could even ask me and I'll send it to you. But that's what it is. It's here.
All right.
Okay.
That was always kind of a mystery to me. I didn't know, and it's just like, should I know what this is?
Yeah.
But okay, that's good.
And
Thank you.
okay, good. You're welcome. And obviously keep asking questions. Some of this stuff I too often assume people know, and I forget we get newbies that haven't had the earlier webinars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
okay, so what I'm going to suggest is that in fact, each of us do it. Now, I will do it and it'll be recorded for others to see, but I suggest you do it too. And in case there are any problems, this is a perfect time to raise them and review them so it'll help others. So the first step, as always, is to click on here. Okay, so you click on that, and um, you know, at this point, you don't have to watch my screen. You should have your own screen, and you put in your email address because this is where the feedback and everything else will come. So you simply do that, and right under where it says click here, you'll see it says 2 coordinates, which is generally recommended for we, but you by putting in 1 coordinate, which I just clicked, and I would like each of you to click that as well, you will now get standard ARV, and you'll begin to see that now. So I've marked 1 coordinate, and I'm now clicking, and notice um, I'm making it a little bigger based on what you said, Scott. Hopefully you can see this okay, and others will be able to see it. Notice there's only a single coordinate here. In normal we, and one of the reasons we was put together the way it was to get corroboration from 2 standard ARVs. But what we're going to do now is make a prediction using we with only 1 coordinate, which does reduce to standard ARV, and then we'll do the corroboration afterwards. So each of you has a different coordinate. What I recommend now is that we get quiet and take, I don't know, it's been my experience that 10 minutes is actually too long. I'm going to set my timer here for 7 minutes, and I'll just sort of do an out loud cool down for me, and you can turn off the mic and do your own if you want.
Are you giving us 7 minutes to do the cool down, or 7 minutes to do the cool down and the session?
Right.
Okay.
And, and if when I start talking again, you're not done, keep going.
I'll just mute you.
Exactly. But that's, what I usually do is take a couple of minutes in this environment. Sometimes when I'm not myself, I take it.
And then we're going to scan it in and send it to you. Is that correct? Is that what uploading the coordinates?
That is correct.
Or uploading the file?
But you'll have it in front of you, so you will be able to judge it yourself and get a prediction right now while we're here in this webinar, and then we will go to the corroboration step. So I'm hoping to do all of that here.
This is going to clear up a lot of questions for me. So
yeah,
thank you.
And that's why we're doing this, and ask them all, because that'll help everybody else who follows.
I can upload a dummy one, right? Because I might not have time to scan it.
Yes, you can upload a dummy one, certainly here. Generally, I don't like that because, as a group manager, I like to see the transcripts. But certainly for this webinar, you can upload a dummy one, yes.
So you said each one of us has a different target coordinate?
Don't you? Mine is right here. I don't even want to say it out.
Yeah, it says, I can see what the number says, and mine is, definitely different. But each person gets assigned a different coordinate.
And that's because they put in a different email address, and so everybody is unique. There's no telepathic overlay possible. The idea is you've got no choice but to go to your feedback target. Describe and sketch your feedback target. So that's your job. No telepathic overlay is possible. Okay, so wait, I still haven't put.
So I treat this coordinate much like I would do with it when I'm doing a standard CRV session, like I would have with Lori.
That's exactly right. Except, and I know she now teaches this. She teaches quick CRV sessions. Have you ever had that experience with her?
No, I have not.
Okay. And I wish I could tell you more about it. You might text her, but she's told me that in some of her classes she does that. But you can imagine what that is. That might only be going to stage 3 and doing it, pretty quickly. So
your focus, Patricia,
well, that's all I've been taught anyway. I just learned basic from her, which is only through stage 3.
Yeah.
You need to focus on the gestalts, on the gestalts, and get a quick impression of each of the gestalts before you go to P3. So like you would, instead of running going through the gestalts until they're exhausted, you get like 4 or 5. You get 4 gestalts, and then you do just a real quick one on each one, like you do sight, sound, hear, something like that, and then you draw a quick sketch of what you perceived. That way, and that only takes a couple of minutes to do that. But the focus is on the gestalts because usually the pictures are so different that you could tell which picture you are focusing in on by just looking at your gestalt list.
So in that case, it's not necessary to actually write down and describe the gestalt like it's rising.
You want to make a basic description, but you don't want a real long P2. You want a quick P2, like 3 or 4 descriptions per gestalt. Then go on to your and then if you're getting your AI, then go on to P3. But you're even kind of forcing an AI on this a little bit.
Uh-huh. No, but
So
my question refers to, once you do your gestalts, you sometimes have to, I mean, in standard CRV practice, you describe it. Is it forward,
yeah,
rising, curve,
yeah,
loop? So
yeah.
you're kind
It depends on the person. Like my descriptions will pretty much tell me which target it is. My P2 pretty much tells me, but I only do like four. I'll pick out like three gestalts that I think are the most important. I'll do like three-word descriptions, like 3 or 4 word descriptions, and then
okay.
I'll do a quick sketch. If I'm not sure, I'll go on do the sketch and and then go on to the matrix.
But the
Okay.
3 or 4 word description is actually describing the
The
gestalt.
gestalt.
The next level,
Okay.
right, the
Yeah.
next level of detail. And let me say, that was a really good description, Jenny. Thank you, general, but everybody is a little different. First you're going to get quiet. In CRV, they don't do much of a cool down
No,
because they just say the coordinate and all that. Um, but all of that really is emphasizing your intention, which is to describe and sketch your feedback target. Right now, I'm trying to get you, into that place where you're focusing and being really clear on your intention. We haven't even started the 7 minutes yet, but that's always the beginning of your CRV session, right? When they give you that coordinate, what is you doing? You're describing your target. And your target here is what you're going to get at feedback time. So you're setting that intention now, and then just sort of follow your own guidance from your subconscious. I think Jenny gave a very good summary of the way it is generally, but guess what? Everybody is a little bit different, and you have to find that place within you. Okay? So I'm
okay.
going to do, yeah, and guess how you do that? By doing it. You just
I
sort of
was I
start
was
doing it and you learn that way.
I was describing Lori's quick session.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
okay. That's exactly
asking
what
about.
Lori said. Oh,
She
you
didn't.
were in it with her. Oh, I didn't realize
Well,
that.
no, but Lori's described it. She described it in the advanced class, and
Okay.
we've described it elsewhere. Lynn, I learned both from Teresa and Lori with CRV, so we're trained from the same school. I was just telling her what you were. I was just
Oh,
describing what you were talking about
oh,
since I've had that training.
okay, good. Oh, thank you, Jenny. That's good. I didn't realize it was that.
Um,
Excellent.
when you're doing that quick CRV, do you still use the move bands and all that sort of thing?
Only if you need to. The idea is just to grab the target, real quick if you're trying to identify a target out of, you know, out of a mix or something like that. It's not really meant to go into detail. When you're going to move commands, you're mining data. You want to get that data. You want to get details. When you're doing a quick session, you don't want details. You want a general psychic impression
Right.
of the site rather than trying to go in and dig in for that data.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. I think
Thank
you
you.
do have it. And let me just add, move commands here, like if you move up 1,000 feet, you remember a photo site, you're trying to describe what you will be able to see as feedback. And you're trying to describe what the feedback target is that could be verified. So going up 1,000 feet and getting information from something outside the field of view of the photo would not help you. So I think I've now given you another part of kind of the intention is to describe the actual feedback target in terms of what's verifiable when you look at it. Okay, so
Okay.
let's I'm going to start. I'm shaking a little bit here. I've now started the 7 minutes. I'm going to turn off the recording. Okay, I've restarted the recorder.
I'm uploading right now. I've had trouble with my camera. It wouldn't upload it.
Okay, good. And that's just what I did. And for some reason, having real trouble getting stuff from my email. I don't think it would have put it in junk email. Okay, so
Ah, oh, this is so hard. Come on.
don't you
All right.
love computers and hate
That's gonna make.
computers? I sent mine from my cell phone. I took a picture. Um,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, I don't know how you
Oh,
do it, Patricia, but I just simply take a picture and
That's a
then
lot less noisy than a scanner.
yeah, and the quality is so good these days. Let me make
I
sure.
tried to, but it wouldn't. The thing is, the camera wouldn't upload it. I don't know what's going on. It's complaining about my.
Maybe it's too big or something.
I'm
No,
gonna give it a whirl.
Yeah, give it a
it's
whirl.
just the I think it's my Wi-Fi isn't strong enough down here.
Hmm. I'm going to try to send it again. It, for some reason.
It says there's something wrong with Safari, and
Oh, oh. Well, yeah. You know, eventually everybody seems to work through it because I get the transcripts, but granted, sometimes it's a real struggle to get it for the first time. I can see it's going more slowly now. Okay.
oh, I got a
So,
good session out of it.
okay, good. Well, we'll see. Let's go. Let me just show people um, how it happens. What I first did now, after I completed my session, I took a picture of it with my smartphone, and then I go to the picture, and it allows me then to send it to anybody. So I simply send it to myself because I need a copy of it on my computer. And as you can see, um, that for whatever reason, I've got lots of stuff here and it's taking a while to load it. But then once it loads it, I will put it someplace where I can find it. And that's how indeed I get to this step where I do a browse. So the browse button um, simply allows you to search your own computer for your transcript, which you then set up to the group manager because the group manager wants to take a look at the work and make some independent judgments based on the transcripts, perhaps based on your history, but that's the job of the group manager. Um, the most important thing, frankly, is your own work and your own judgment, because that's how you're going to learn. But we do have a belief that by forming groups, A, it's more fun, and B, we do believe a group manager ought to be able to get a higher hit rate and a more frequent hit rate um, because viewers pass and should pass, you know, if things are not going just right. So let's see, here we go. Okay, so I now, I don't see any problem with you seeing. So this is the picture I took here. And I'm going to do a save as, so I want to put it someplace where I can find it. I've been putting these in my online documents. And let me call this
You just wrote your number over and over and over again until you got something to draw?
Yeah, you know, if
That's
you really
interesting.
want to know what my style is, yes, I write it over again. Each time I write it, I deepen my intention and my connection. I mean, I will tell you something else that I've only said in webinars one other time. I don't know if you see here this. This is Yitrim, which is Marty spelled backwards. And I try to
Ah,
connect up with my future self who already knows this information, goes through feedback time and connects up with me. and some of this writing is written backwards to emphasize that I'm connecting with my future self. So all of
Why is
that
your
is what's
future
going
self
on up.
backwards?
All of this is what's, yep, I actually try to do 8 backwards. I don't do it very well, but you know, it's not the details, it's the intention of connecting up with Yitrim that I feel is important. So that's what all of this means. And then I write this and then I start.
And then you come up with a really good drawing there, boy.
Maybe. I'll let you know when I do my judging. Okay, so I'm going to call this KARV, and then I'm going to give it its number, 798978, just so it's very clear that I can find it. I now save it. Okay, so what I will do now is browse for it, and then I'm uploading it to the general manager, and there it is. So I simply do that, and that is now in here. And as soon as I hit the submit button, up is going to come the first choice for my judging. Now, I'm not sure you should see, you're now judging, so you're in an intellectual, primarily intellectual space now. You know, so it's good to talk and just like I'm doing here to get you in an intellectual space, but it's not clear that you will want to see my pictures. In fact, I recommend that what you do is upload your own transcript, or as Scott says, a dummy for time. You know, hey, as a group manager, I'd want to see your transcripts, but this is a rather special case. So if it's going to take you too long to do it or you're having problems, just upload any text file or anything. I have a dummy file that says this is a dummy file, so the general managers, if I do it for another group, will know what it is. So I am going to suggest you don't look at mine, do yours on your own. But I'm going to do mine now and discuss it for the benefit of the webinar. Now, if you want to watch this, you can. You don't have to. You could finish yours later and do it however, but
I got a quick question.
sure.
Can you only upload one document? Because I wrote mine on like 4 pieces of paper.
Okay, what people do
And
when
they
they
came
do
in as individual attachments on my email.
what
Do I need to combine them as an individual document, like a PDF or something?
exactly? A
Okay.
PDF is perfect. I have had people who only do 2 pages. You can get a good picture with 2 pages. 4 pages is probably too much. And so when people have over 2, it's exactly a PDF. So the fact that you know what a PDF is, you understand that. And that PDFs do get uploaded as one document.
Okay.
You could do
So
Word.
actually, somebody just showed me an app that you can use on your phone that will automatically turn your photos into PDFs for you. So
Okay, maybe you can send that to Patricia or even to everybody in the KARV group. Also, you could do it in a Word document. It's got to be a doc, not a docx, but it'll upload docs.
Oh, sure. By the way, you can call me Patty.
Okay.
I go by Patty.
Okay, Patty. Perfect.
So are we sending these to everybody, or what are we doing?
I am now going to do mine as part of the webinar, and you're welcome to watch and see what my prediction is, and then you can do your own, or you can do your own in parallel. So I'll leave that up to each of you, okay?
I think I'll wait on mine.
Okay, and that's good. Then you can do yours on your own and just watch how I do mine. So, and maybe, okay, so I've uploaded it, and now I click Browse. Oh, no, I click Submit. I already did the browse, so now I click Submit. And as soon as I click Submit, it's going around and around. And now, it's interesting to understand that it randomly went through our 800 pre-pairs and chose the pairs. This was not chosen prior to this. So again, at the remote viewing time, you have no choice but to go to your feedback. So this is my first one. Now, judging, just like everything else, has individual, what will I say, stuff associated with it. What I've now decided to do for me, okay, is to actually look at both photo sites at the same time. This is new for me, but I clicked on the second photo site. Did you see how I did that? Right here. This one's here, photo site A is here. I could get another picture of it if I wanted to by clicking there, but that's not a whole lot of value. But I clicked on the other one, and this is my second photo site. So what I typically do is I do a capture of that, okay, and then I put it here, and where is it? Here it is. And the first thing I do is a quick look at both. I actually never recommended that. I always recommended you take the transcript, judge the first one, and judge the second one. But recently, we just had a lot of people go for the first one. Like somehow the first one they did became more important, and I wanted to see how this felt. So you're seeing me do something which is a little bit different now. Okay, so my transcript I am looking at, and what I first said was person or persons with the S is optional. Clearly that's more like the second one. And then I said turbulent environment, and I had an AOL of boat, ship, in water, which is clearly what I sort of drew. I see no water in either of those. Okay, so that was my
Marty, will
first
our
response.
feedback pictures be different than yours?
It will be. Your pictures will be
Oh.
entirely different, and if you haven't uploaded yet, they haven't even been chosen yet. So
Oh, they're only chosen once you upload?
after you hit that submit button.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, as
really
I
helps.
say, you've got no choice but to go to the future feedback.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And you'll get yours from the random set of 100. And so I can do this just like the rest of you. I have no more information. And now as a self-judge, I'm here, but I'm being just intellectual about this. And now I'm going to judge it in an intellectual fashion. So I'm using a red pen. I happen to do these in different pens. So I wrote PSA red. I put a big check mark. Actually, I'm writing 1 again, persons. I mean 0 for the photo site A, which is this big one. So I'm putting 0 for persons. Turbulent is sort of interesting. It's not
Yeah,
turbulent.
I would say you definitely have some turbulence going on in photosite A.
In photo site A or photo site B?
I would say, well, I mean, you've got this wave-like pattern going on in photosite A.
Right. And that's what I was about. Right now I'm just looking at photo site A. So now I'm doing, in fact, I'm going to put this on the other screen. So I'm just judging photo site A now kind of formally. And I'm thinking the same thing. Somehow, even though it's not turbulence in the normal sense of, air or water moving turbulently, this has a feel of turbulence. So I'm actually going to give that a half a point. I use 0, 1, or a half. And so I gave turbulent environment a half. The AOLs I ignore unless they're right on, and they're not right on. And the sketch here, has a circle in it, so this does have circles. It's got some straight lines, and then I drew curvy things like water. God, this is a tough one because the bottom looks just like my curvy water. You know, when I was doing
Yeah.
it, I was thinking water, but that happens to be,
Well, these are fiber optic cables, aren't they?
yes, that's just what they are.
Well, I mean, it's energy that's moving through those.
Yeah,
So you've got motion, you know, the movement, I mean, much like water.
and I've got the round. I'm going to give this picture. What I do with pictures is I can give it up to 2 points as a whole picture or pieces. Anyway, you know, we have to work out our.
My feeling is that Lori would say that that's the president taking over, saying that it was water, that you definitely had an
Yes,
idea
at the
about
time.
the movement going on. It's just that because of the way the movement looked and felt to you, you assumed, the president did, that it was
Right.
water, when in reality it was a little
Yeah.
more.
Okay,
Usually water's gestaltic.
and now let's see. Well, water would be at the Gestalt level, which is wrong. Now,
Yeah.
do I think I'm using a judging system which is based on actually Joe McMonagle, and he gives 50% of the value to the Gestalt level. And it's interesting here. Certainly the person was not part of the Gestalt, but I do feel the turbulent was, and the round was. I wish I had gotten more. I got 2 parallel lines, but I feel I'm stretching it by calling these parallel lines. Had I put a lot more lines, I would have been a lot happier.
There's parallel lines up towards the top of it. Gestaltic wise, that would be man-made in energy. So
Right. Which I did not. Well, my sketch. Okay, this is a tough one for me. I'm going to say the Gestalt is a half. My matches actually are high, but I didn't have much. I'm going to give this a CR. God, I don't know if I would wager on it. Would you put money on that match? I feel uncomfortable
no.
about that. I'm going to give it a 3. I mean, I got a
Yeah.
lot, but I didn't get enough. Okay, now what I do is I now will go and pick up the other picture, which I could pick up from here, so the other one isn't there. Let me make it a little bigger. And now I on my sheet of paper, I've now taken a blue pen. Actually, I use blue for this. I'm going to use black, but I use a different color, and I write photosite B. And this one's got a person, which is really cool. Now, turbulent, there's obviously some turbulent air around. It just shows you judging is more difficult than remote viewing and knowing exactly what to do. God, there's certainly a lot of energy there.
Yeah.
Turbulent. I don't know. I'm
I would say that would be motion, energy, and biological on a gestaltic level.
right. So would I. But the word I came up that may capture all of that is turbulent. Though the gestalts I got, right after doing my thing, I drew lots of circles, and they definitely had a lot of energy. Both of them do. The picture, boat, ship, obviously not right. The circles, the one line is right. I didn't get any colors. Sometimes I do say
Unless
colors.
it's the Olympics with the 5 circles
Right.
as symbol. but I
but
don't.
it's not in the picture.
Yeah, it's not in the picture,
But
and we don't know if
it
it's
would
the
be
Olympics, do
down.
we?
I don't know. I'm going to give this one. I don't feel well. I got the person.
Oh, you did pick up a biological?
Well, I said person.
Okay.
So I mean that's pretty. That one's right
Yeah,
on.
that's pretty
That one's right on.
specific.
God, I hate. I don't like when this happens when I get it from other people, but here it is. I'm going to put in another CR equal. It's not a 3.5. I wouldn't wager on it. Do I feel better or worse about this one? I got to admit the person was right on, but that's all. I'm going to give it a 3. So I'm going to give them both 3s. I write that on my transcript.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm basically done. So
Would
now,
that?
no, but that's all I have is 1.
Mm-hmm.
So for photo site A, I got 1. For photo site B, I got 1. Standard classical, I'll put in my comments. I did this in the webinar a bit faster than usual and a shorter transcript than usual. So maybe pass is understandable and nothing wrong. I'm reminding myself of this. I hate to pass. Everybody hates the pass, but I say nothing wrong. Okay, so we're going through the process here. So you'll be doing exactly the same thing on your own, and now I do submit. So this got submitted to the server with all the information. I got my words, which I hope in the future to actually use as part of an automatic judging system. But now as a judge, I read every one of these to get a feeling for what the person was doing and thinking. And if any of these had been over 3.5 and I made one of these 3.5, it would have told me which side I was on. But since it's a pass, it didn't. And that's it. So in terms of making a normal prediction, we're done. Now, you know what?
I can submit my scores.
And oh, you did? And did you get over did you get a side?
Oh, well, no, I'm a pass lane side A, photo side A.
Okay, so yours will say the same thing as a pass here. I'd love somebody to get an actual score. Why don't you two, you mind?
I got a strongest.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. In fact, let's go to you, and because you see, confirmation of this doesn't mean anything now, right? It would only mean something if there was an actual prediction. Though I could right now do a kinesthetic for over and under, since I know that's what the thing is. So in principle, if you were KARV, you could do a over under kinesthetic prediction here and send it to me as the group manager.
Okay. I did a dousing of the winning team.
Wait, but did you do, first of all, did you do judging in the normal way already?
Yes, I got a predictive session on side A.
Okay, Jenny, do you mind if I make you the presenter?
Sure.
I would like to show the Okay, and Scott just added that his pendulum showed photosite A. I'm going to change this. Okay,
Okay,
make
share
yourself
my
the
screen.
presenter, and let's see your equivalent screen of this, because I want people to be able to see how the system.
Oh, I was going to show you my session, and then I'll
Okay.
try to show you my screen. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
This is
seeing your
my
screen. So there's your session.
session. I know, but
I'm only.
I got 3 gestalts. This is
Yep. Okay.
okay.
Good.
Okay.
I got three gestalts. I got man-made and 2 natural. I felt like there was also some motion and energy in there as a minor gestalt.
Okay.
On the second page, strong natural man-made, white and blue. So this vertical thing came first,
Very
and it
nice.
was like dropping off, going over the focus. This was a natural setting. Now we're going to photosite A, and you know we have the natural here. This is the man-made. There's a I see vertical and horizontal lines there. Photosite B is the stupid Photoshop zebra thing.
You think it is Photoshop?
Again,
I'm getting.
I think
rid of,
it is.
I'm getting rid of that one. So.
I think it is, but anyway, I could be wrong. Who knows?
Anyway, that one is on my list to get rid of. Just haven't, and I will use one of your pairs. But okay, go ahead, Jenny. But anyway, that's what it is.
Well, every time I get this, I get photosite A because it's the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is. But anyways, so I put in a 3.5. I put in a 3.5 on the lighthouse.
Okay, good.
On side A.
Okay.
And
now write some comments. Write comments. Why don't you put some comments in?
And it was strong. I feel it was a strong session because of the gestalts on photo. Because the second gestalt was strictly natural and biological, and usually I can tell, like on the first 3 gestalts, on the first 3 or 4 gestalts, I can usually tell what I am looking at.
Okay, and you felt comfortable you
session
attached with the feedback photo, not any of this stuff here. Okay. How often have you gotten this? Have you gotten this more than once before this?
The dowsing. No, I just got this one last time. I just got this the same photo last week.
The last webinar. We had it with Nancy and Nancy do the tail of the zebra.
Yeah. 1 out of an 800 chance, in principle, unless the random number generator is not working. Okay. Anyway, okay. Now submit it, and then we'll see what you get. Since you have a 3.5, you've made an actual prediction. And see, for the first time, nobody knew that would be under until now. So photosite A is, in fact, for everybody associated with under. It's interesting that before Scott saw this, he chatted that he was getting his pendulum indicated photosite A. Okay. So now you've got a prediction. Now is when the corroboration kinesthetic comes in. The way I would do it, but again, everybody can do it differently. I would say, is this the winning side? Yes or no? You might say, is under going to be, why don't you do it? How do you feel comfortable doing it, Jenny?
Okay, here, I'll show you let me turn the light on here so you can see what I'm doing. I'll turn on my camera so you can see. Where's my camera? People can see me. Good. Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, here's what I do. I take 2 flashcards. One. Can you see?
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. One says positive. One says negative. I mix them up. Well, I'm just sitting here talking. I mix them up, play around with them. I don't know which one's going to be which. And then I set it on the table. Okay. Now, is this one correct? I'm getting a negative response here. Is this one correct? I'm getting kind of a positive response. It's kind of wishy-washy. I usually get a stronger pendulum response than that. So
Maybe it's because you're
it's favoring this one. So I turn my cards over. This one says over. This one says under. The under.
Right. Okay.
Is the one that got the positive response. That helps blind me to what's going on.
Right.
And
that's good. As opposed to yes and no. So that's interesting. That's a definitely another approach.
I find that yes and no. I tend to influence the pendulum. The president takes over the fingers. Even when I do, even when I lock my wrist down, it still tends to take up too much movement. Do too much taking over. So
how do you lock your wrist down?
Now Lori showed us like this. I do mine a little bit differently than what Lori does in her class. Okay, because I've been dowsing for a long time. I've been dowsing for a lot longer than first off, I like to hold the thing on the end. That's one thing. And I just kind of I lock my wrist like this. It makes it a little bit less likely, and then I try to hold my hand still. So show me yes. Okay. Show me no. And it takes a few minutes for it to get over, for it to switch around, but it's starting to go in the other direction.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, that's good to know. Because I've wondered about how much is, my unintentional movement.
Now, another thing that you'll learn is I'm sorry, Marty. I'm talking too much?
No, not at all. Please keep going, Jenny. This is great.
Okay.
Okay.
Another one you can do is the hot spot one, and that's another one that Lori teaches.
I've tried hot spot and I can't feel very much.
Okay. I don't do one with a button. Okay. But anyways, what for Scott and Marty, what the hot spot is that you're feeling for a change in temperature. So you're going over the card here, and what you do is you set up the analogy to yourself, like the card that has the correct up or down, has the correct symbol on it, is going to feel warm because the correct symbol has more energy than the other symbol. And then you just go along in here and you feel which card feels warmer to you. And I would say this one does. And again, that's the
under.
Under. All right.
Now,
when I've done
this one's.
I've been doing more than just 2 items, and so maybe that's where my issue is I haven't been making it specific enough.
Now I'll show you another one. This one's mine. I actually haven't been using this one too much. Turn up my phone a little bit. Have you ever heard of a ghost box?
I have not.
Okay. Well, it's a way of radio scanning. Basically, you're scrying using the radio sounds. So then let's mix it up again. I would scry those sounds and listen to those sounds, and the sounds would sometimes give me an indication as to which card's the correct card.
Now, why is this?
So I say, is this card correct?
How are the sounds being made?
By random sound generator or radio. And then again.
Wow.
That's, but so I'm sorry, I didn't discern, Jenny, how you were choosing with the audio, which one was the correct one?
I heard him say in the random sound generator when I listen to the sounds, it's a form of clairaudience. I hear him say that's that one or something like that. I hear them actually say that. I actually hear that.
Oh.
Pick that one or it's that one or something like that.
Okay, so you actually hear like a verbal sentence, either a yes or some sort of affirmation.
Right.
Of some sort. Oh, interesting.
Now let me ask a question of both Jenny and Patty. Prior to this, were you using the classical Lynn approach of either colors or tastes or stuff like that? Patty, I think I saw some of your stuff and you were using that approach.
I was, using the sounds, the animal sounds, barking dog, eagle screech, and I think a cow. Yeah, a cow.
Which could be used at this stage. Again, just to say it out loud, that's another approach which is direct kinesthetic that could be used now, as long as you've made those associations.
I've also used some dowsing.
And you did some dowsing as well.
Right, but I did not use the method that Jenny just pointed out, which, I would ask is, I would just ask, is the outcome going to be over?
Nobody. Oh, okay. That radio method's my own method. That's not, nobody uses that. That's something I made. That's something I invented.
Yeah. And
I don't know of anybody that uses that.
It's kind of cool because it's out of sort of random noise. You quote here internally, this is the one or something like that. That's cool.
Right. Except in this case, I actually can say, because I've got skill with doing this. I can. It's an actual statement that I hear on the radio. It's not something I hear internally. This is something that's actually audible to me.
So
and if you learn how to do it, then what you're doing is your subconscious will focus on certain sounds and put the sounds together. So it's not it's not really that mystical. It's just the way that you train your subconscious to work, and I've trained mine over a period of years to do that.
Okay. But of course everybody.
What was the app that you're using to generate those sounds, Jenny, please? Was it an app?
It's a random. It's an app on the phone. There's a couple different ones. This one is what is this one called? This one's the Sono X10. I'll write it in the thing, and there's also Xbox.
Because I'm having a little trouble with my audio, so you're kind of like blipping in and out. So if you could, write it down or and send it through the. Are you having that issue as well? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting 90%, 90%, so not more.
Ghostbox is an actual radio that scans the radio very quickly. What other? There's a whole bunch. They use them for ghost hunting mostly, and people. Yeah, it's a big ghost hunting thing right now.
Okay, well, that's where I'm familiar with it. Is listening for audio, disembodied audio.
Right. They're called. It's a form of EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. But I discovered that you can use it for other things, so I've basically been using it for different things. I think it's mostly subconscious, so that your subconscious is putting together words. Now, sometimes other people can hear it. Sometimes they can't. It just depends.
Let me ask a question. Is the feeling of this idea of doing it afterwards feel good to you all as opposed to before, as corroboration, or what? How are you feeling about this KARV method?
Doing it before versus after?
Oh, after the transcript, you mean?
Before what we did just now, how does this one feel? Does this one feel pretty good to you? Jenny,
because we did the pendulum after the transcript.
Right, doing the pendulum after the transcript as opposed to before.
See, that's what I had actually been doing all along, is I always did the transcript before I did the dowsing, because I didn't want I felt that the dowsing answer might influence the outcome of this somehow.
I see.
So, I mean, I guess you could look at it either way, that, you know, the transcript could influence the dowsing. But I don't know, for some reason I just saved the dowsing for last.
Anyway, Jenny, how about you? Did you do the dowsing for last, and does this feel comfortable?
Yeah, I was trained to do CRV first and then do the dowsing as a stage 6, so, you know, it's consistent with my CRV work. It's probably better if I just do it that way.
Okay, I see one weakness which I can fix, and that is afterwards, you've done a lot, none of which is recorded in words, or an ability of you to share that with, you know, the group manager. And I think if I put another box there, that would be better. Or
in the comments.
Or if it would be possible to do it in the other comment box. In other words, you wouldn't submit it. You know, when you do it in this comment box, all you really know is it's photo site A. How would you feel about asking, is photo site A going to be the winning side?
That's what I did.
That is.
I get better answers when I ask over under, but that's what I did on this one. This is A.
Right. Jenny, just imagine if the protocol was to not hit the submit until you did the kinesthetic, direct kinesthetic approach on, is it photo site A? And you would then probably put on your cards either A or B, looking for confirmation for A.
Yeah.
Would you
that
feel
sounds
like
fine.
that's just as good? No problem with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
In fact, then you wouldn't have any noise from it being over or under, and you wouldn't get that until afterwards. And then you could put all your comments in there. So maybe what I should do is, for the KARV group, put a statement to that effect. Okay, now that you've done your judging, do your kinesthetic, and then put the comments for both below, and then hit submit. Thank you. I think that's probably the best protocol.
And I can always do like more than one, you know, can do more than one kinesthetic. If you do that hidden card thing, you can do more than one. You can do a couple of them like I just did.
Well, and you can do the sound, and you can report all of those in the comment box, and then you, of course, are in a position to make your own judgment of whether you want to go to group 1. But so is, you know, what you now know as being under with photo site A. But the group manager would also give a weighting factor to that you did it so many times, say, but he also then would look at the other people. You know, I haven't seen Scott yet. I haven't seen Patty's yet. So, and hopefully we'll get some other people to make predictions. So
I could upload my first page right now, if that would be helpful.
Yeah, and I uploaded my scores already, so it'll show on the group manager page.
Yeah. Okay. And well, Patty, you may want to do that just so we can talk about it and talk about the judging part, which would be good to have on this tape. So let's do that. Why don't you just upload one page? That's fine.
All right.
And I'm going to make you the group, the presenter, if I can find it.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually.
Oh, you're seeing your picture. Yeah, let me see if I can. I don't know why I can't find it. You're Scott, can you make her group manager? For some reason, I have lost between my two screens. I've lost the ability to do that.
Made
Yeah,
her presenter.
make her presenter because she just looked at her pictures and.
So she has to say yes to show my screen.
Oh, yes. I've never done this before, so
Yeah,
bear with me.
There we go. We're seeing your picture.
Okay. Now, how do you see my transcript?
Just describe it. I mean,
Okay.
if you had a camera, you could put it in front of the camera, but.
Oh, well, I do. I just haven't turned it on because my hair looks terrible today. So, but that's all right.
There you
go.
So that's
here. I don't know. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Wow.
Oh, that looks pretty darn good. Oh my. Different sections.
Oh wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of amazed. I mean, okay, so some of the descriptive words down at the bottom are a little bit nebulous, but yeah, my first two words there, and the fact that I kind of got that thing upside down,
right?
Which is kind of interesting, Marty. If given my history about the KRV predictions and how consistently wrong I am.
Yeah, yes, you said that in your last transcript, right?
Yeah, well, what's interesting is I've been keeping track of it, and there's a couple of times that I made predictions that I didn't submit to you because it was too late. I am now, excluding passes, 2 and 15, which means I've got an 86% negative hit rate.
That's statistically significant.
Yeah.
2 out of 17.
So it's also interesting that I'm upside down with this picture.
Did you miss on the last one? That.
Yes, I did.
You did? I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see that. Amazing. Okay.
So I don't know what that means if I'm just,
I don't know what it means either, but hang in there with it. I probably should go in the opposite direction, and that will turn you around.
Well, I'm afraid that once people start betting on my, going against my bets, that everything, of course, will, screw it up for everybody. But I think if you're going to bet against me, do it so that I don't know about it, because otherwise I'll be under pressure to perform, and that will just mess everything up.
Right. We don't. I have the sense you're already under pressure, your own internal pressure to perform.
Well, so how would you grade, okay, given what I just showed you, how would you grade this? I mean,
I saw several words that were off. I'd give it, but the sketches, I give a lot weight to sketches. I don't see clouds per se. Fluffy, I don't know, that thing in the back, sort of. I would definitely give it a 3.5. I don't know how do the rest of you feel? Would you go higher? Scott?
I can't see her.
You can't see it, Jenny?
I'm looking. I had to enlarge it.
Yeah, I can move over. On me, it's on the left, but I can move over the percentage that's picture versus her screen. So I can make it full screen.
There's also a full screen icon.
Daddy, hold it steady on your camera so I can see it.
Okay, here, I'm
hold
going
it
to
up
move
a little higher. You had it just right a little bit ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. That's good. That's good.
Well, there's a lot of unknowns in there. We don't know what's around the area. I would give heavy weight to that drawing now.
I like 3.5 is good.
I think 3.5 at least, maybe a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you had 2 more pages, right? What were those like? Why don't you just flash those quickly?
Let's see. I then did a standard CRV session.
Right. Wet, water, curve.
So I had water and man-made and motion energy.
That may be a water tower. Is that a water tower?
I have no idea what that thing is.
That's a pretty strange.
Neither do I. I don't know.
Well, you know, the Europeans and their way of designing things, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be a water tower.
Or not.
I said whatever it was, I said it was large and blocky, and then I had a question mark, is it a fortress? I did say granite or something very hard.
It looks like there's cement under that pole underneath. It looks to me like it's probably cement. So I'd say that's probably you're picking up the pole. Also, that building's metal, and generally speaking, there's a lot. They have to set metal into concrete, so there's probably a lot of concrete in there, which would give you a really hard sensation there.
Yeah. The water, I said, was wavy, calm, long, river-like, cold, fresh versus salty, somewhat clean and close to industry. So this is industrial somehow. I don't know if that counts or not since I was talking about the water.
Let's look at photo site B now. You know, 3.5 seems okay. Let's look at photo site
3.5? Okay. So photo site B. Okay.
The sketch doesn't work. What else does?
Well, the water does. Eagles usually are watered by water. Those kind of eagles live by water.
That's water in the background.
Is that water in the background?
It might be a gray sky. It's hard to tell.
Well, and I hid the camera here. I mean, I've got the fluffy, and you kind of see in the picture in the upper left, you see a singular cloud, I think.
The yellow beak.
Could be misty.
Well, there's chicks in there, too. The chicks are pretty fluffy.
Yeah, you got yellow.
So they are.
The chicks, yeah.
And
Yellow,
we got the yellow
furry.
beak. Do you suppose they're agnostic?
No, they're believers.
No, bald eagles aren't too bright.
Now, if there was a falcon, we could train them.
Yeah, no, bald eagles are they don't have much like a personality, not like osprey and hawks and stuff like that. We have a lot of them around here.
I did say that there was a man-made, and there's nothing man-made in that picture that I can tell.
No.
Yeah, there's a couple things here. Let's see if I can go back to the analysis. It's certainly not as strong as the first picture. I would probably give it a 1. Maybe
I give it a 2 because you got the gestalt, because the water gestalt and the fluffy.
Yeah, I like 2.
You like 2? Okay, I'll go with the crowd. I'm easy. All right.
Okay. Let's now. This is perfect. Okay. So now you've done that, and it's clear that you are wageable on photo site A. Now what kinesthetic approach would you like to use, and ask the question that makes sense to you about, will photo site A be the winning side? Will photo site A be associated with?
Well, actually what I could do is I could use a modification of Jenny's method of dowsing. I actually have some tabs here that are over and under, and I can mix them up, which is what I can actually just stick them in the envelopes, back in the envelopes, and mix the envelopes up versus using cards. So there's my over, and here's my under. Okay, so I've got my 2 envelopes.
Right.
And yeah, I'll show you what I don't know if you guys could see what I was doing. So this one says over. Can you see that? It's like really brighted out on
Yeah,
that
there we
pen.
got it. We got it
Okay.
flashed.
So, all right, so I'm gonna mix them up, and I do this a lot when this is how I do my KRV with the dogs, or I mean the sounds. So, and I just have to find okay, so I've got them. I have no idea which is which. Oh, there we are. And my pendulum.
Right.
Okay, now let's see if I can. So, Jenny, you lock your, you put your wrist back like this. Is that correct?
Here, I'll show you. I'm right here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now you hold it. What I would do is you want to. You've got yes and no determined, right? You know yes and no on that pendulum.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Put your fist down in front. Okay.
Oh, so you make it into a fist. Okay, like
and then
that.
and then brace your hand and then brace your hand. Now Lynn Buchanan teaches it a little different. I'm going to show you what Lynn does. Okay. Lynn holds it like this.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, Lynn holds his like this. You may try it like this. And put your wrist a little bit further down, a little bit closer down.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to shorten my string a little bit.
Yeah, you have to have your string pretty short.
Okay.
And then you look for the right symbol. You're looking, is this the correct symbol? Is this the symbol?
Okay.
That shows the right.
So the question, what is the question I'm asking?
Okay, you're asking, is this the correct symbol
for the outcome?
For the outcome.
Okay, is this the correct symbol for the outcome? Wow, that went really fast.
And what was it?
And it's yes. The answer is yes.
Test the other one?
Double. Well, and then what I learned with dowsing is this the truth? Yes.
Okay.
So should I double check with this one or just
no, mix them up. Now, put your pendulum down.
Okay.
And open your envelope. Open your envelopes and look at it.
Under.
What does it say? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Put them back in. Good.
Yeah. That's a good laugh. Okay.
You got it. Okay. You can do another method of verification. You can do another method.
Does just for everybody to see. Can you see what that says?
Eagle screech. Oh, you got an eagle. Oh, that's cool. Was that on the other envelope?
Or no, the other envelope is, see, these are my different sounds. Okay. I got eagle screech, and I got bark, and I've got moo.
Okay.
So that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right. So what would I put in here for my comments then?
I would put in the dowsing is under.
Dowsing says under. Okay.
Dowsing says under.
Okay, well, I just did my pendulum, and
Jenny, thank you for going through that with me.
And I wanted to ask whether or not this very strong under from all of us is in fact going to happen, and I got a yes. I take it, Scott, you got under as well?
Yeah, I did. I got photo A, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Artie, this may destroy my streak.
I hope so. Did you put comments in?
All I said was that dowsing says under. I didn't put any other comments.
You were the first one to do what will now become the standard protocol. So just because the rest of us waited until after, and notice from the standpoint of the group manager, in fact, just because you know, you're here. Let me show you what the group manager would do here now. And I won't finish this because we have other people who may, but I'll show you what a group manager sees. Maybe someday one of you would like to become a group manager. So I'm now in the group manager forms, and I'm going to do KARV. And now what I get to see, a lot of details here. I can now look at what was uploaded. I can look at everybody's photo sites. That's what these links are.
We have to make Marty the presenter again.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I just did.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
Thank
show
you.
my screen. Okay, so you're seeing my screen again. This is
yeah, can you zoom in again?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So this is what the group managers get access to, and these links here will show the transcripts. I can see the side one transcript. There's
Can
only
you
one.
magnify that?
Yeah,
Zoom
go ahead. You can zoom way in.
More? Okay.
Keep zooming.
Okay, and we'll just see this side here. There we go. Okay, so the group manager now has access for all the users. It turns out here was the task I put in. Here's Jenny. I did something. That must be you, Patty. And there's Scott. And
Oh yeah, I'm Zoe Darkle. Mm-hmm.
And so as a group manager, I've got access to everybody's everything. Okay, what they uploaded, the photo site, and what they said. And down here is kind of a summary, which, let's look at yours. Here says dowsing says under. And in addition, the 3.5 said the prediction was side one. Jenny did side one. Scott, oh, you actually ended off passing though.
But the pendulum said.
But we didn't get that. We didn't get those words in here because,
yeah.
But next time it would actually, the pendulum would say side one. See, he passed on the basis of the photo site matches. So these are the CRs.
I leaned to the same side as you guys.
Okay. And you did it faster than usual, which was the same comments that I made. But I would have done, it seems like a lot of us here like the pendulum, but you could certainly continue to use your eagle, bark, and all that. Though I will say that, that just wasn't working well at the beginning, which is why we started doing more. So the prediction clearly, if this all there was, the prediction would clearly be side one, and side one is under. So as the group manager, and I won't do this yet because hopefully some other people will do something, I would simply put KARV there and side one, and then I would go to the line for the Superbowl and put the number there and then put some comments over here and then click this, and that's how all of you get the email that you get. So you've now gotten a peek into what the group managers do.
Okay. So then if I want to start betting on this, because I haven't yet, but I would like to at some point, how do I go about doing that?
Well, if you are not in Las Vegas, you can go to one of several okay, so I'm not going to do this, so I'll use this. I happen to use bookmaker.eu. Did you see that? You can see that there?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. I know Scott likes to use...
I use Bovida. .lv. But the next account I open will probably be for 5 dimes because I like all the...
Right.
They give you more lines to work with.
So everybody uses different things. I actually, well, I have another one as well, and I think it's 5 dimes, but I'm not even sure right now.
Once you get to the website, they can walk you through it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, let me show you. It's actually pretty, it's pretty self-explanatory.
It's a little confusing if you're not used, yeah.
But you have to know a bit about what the numbers mean, and I've talked about that. But let's just go, for example, to NFL. They probably have lines up for the Super Bowl already. Yeah, see, here's the Super Bowl.
Zoom in again.
Oh. So here's the Super Bowl. So you saw what I did. I mean, that would be the obvious. They try to make it as intuitive as possible. So, I mean, I went to NFL and then went to Super Bowl, and here it is. Now, here's where it gets confusing if you don't understand it, that you have to learn. But there's a spread, and I look at this and I see Carolina is the favorite. And if you want to bet on them with the spread, you have to give up 6 points. Over here are what are called the odds, and again, you can see they're the favorites, minus 240. It's interesting they use minus for the favorites, but that's classical in this American view. And what this means is if you bet $10, no, if you bet $24, you would win 10. You'd get your 24 bucks back, plus you'd win 10. But if you thought Denver, who's the underdog, you could bet $10 and you would get 20 back, 100 for 200. This is really based on a $100 bet. So $100, you get your $100 back plus win 200. So you have reason to believe that the favorites are going to go, then this is good. If you do Carolina and you feel real strong about it, well, then maybe you don't mind putting up $240 to win 100. But as I say, everything scales. So you can in fact put up $2.40. I think this will let you put that little. Usually the minimum is about $1. Some of them might be $10 minimums. But
you can do. I do 50 cents.
Okay, so you could do $2.
Yeah, I just saw that note, Jenny. Thanks.
And win. Right. So this is how you would then do it, and then here I can do okay, and then this one, the one I didn't talk about, is the one that we're saying. Notice it's over would be that arrow, under is this arrow. We're saying this, and we're actually indicating minus 110, which notice this is balanced. They're both minus 110. That's as close as you're going to get into virtually any of the sports betting, including Las Vegas. So what this says is if you put up $110, you will win 100. And you can do that either way. They're happy to take the wager either way. That difference of $10 is called the VIG, and that's how, bookmaker.eu makes all their money. So that's a basic.
So if I put up my $100, or no, okay, if I put up $100 and I win, then I get 100 and I get another 110?
No, the way it works is it's close. If you put up $110, okay, with the minus you have to put up the big number, which is over 100 to win 100. So if you put up $110, you win 100 plus you get your 110 back. So you literally win 100. Gotcha. Yeah, and if you lose the 110. It turns out that actually is equivalent to about a 5% VIG, because if you win one and lose one, you put up $220 and you've won 100. Anyway, you can do the mathematics if you want, but this is the way it works. So then I would just hit continue. So once you understand these numbers, you understand what wager you want. You just hit continue. And now I put in the amount I want. Okay.
Gotcha.
And
zoom in there.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think the last time I did a webinar with you, I went to that website and I didn't understand those arrows. Right. So I was like, where's the over and under? I couldn't figure it out.
Right. Notice if you keep it over, it actually, I noticed it said it before. It doesn't look like it's going to say it here. But anyway, the down arrow is under. Oh, wait, maybe it'll see if it says it here. Oh, see here, you can change these. Some people like to go for different odds, but if you do that, notice 45.5 under that is minus 120. So you have to put up 120 to win 100. But they'll let you go up as far as 47.
So you're increasing your odds just for the higher score. You get a
which makes sense since you're still under, right?
Yeah.
So you have to. That's really useful because if the line now is 47, and we make a prediction based on 47, and by the time we get to the Super Bowl, it's 45 or something.
Right.
Then we have multiple choices. You want to go with the prediction.
But what we do normally is take this baseline and we use it. And so I'm going to complete the bet, why not, at $10. I use this account really for examples. As I say, I do have another account. So I will go under, hell. Why not? In fact, I always feel I don't want to get too excited about this because remember, we're still intellectual. So I'm going to go under with just $10 now. And it gives me.
So you only get excited after your prediction matches.
That's right.
The actual outcome.
That's right. You get excited at feedback time when you get a hit because that counts as an attractor to get you to then describe the right feedback. Okay, so this now is the confirmation. All the sites have this in one form or another, and it's telling me I'm risking $11 to win 10, and I'm going under. 45 with the minus 110 ratio, which is basically repeated here, right? Notice 11 for 10. Okay, and then I confirm my bet, and I'm in. So I just placed a winning $10 bet.
I think I'm going to do that later today.
Okay. Yeah. Now, getting money into these places. You have to get money to them, obviously, before.
Oh, yeah. No, I realize I need to set up an account and all that stuff.
Yeah. But depending, you live in the U.S.?
I do.
So
Wisconsin. Can't you tell from my outrageous accent?
I just, it's funny. You emphasized it when you said that.
Yeah. Wisconsin.
They give you some ways, depending, Western Union is one way. MoneyGram, you can go to your local. I'm not sure you can do a bank wire from the U.S. But anyway, you'll find out, and they're happy to chat with you. They'll love to make it as easy as possible for you to.
Is there a foreign transaction fee?
Yes, unless, at least for bookmaker, if you put in over $300, there's no fee. For under $300, there's like a MoneyGram, it's like an $8 fee or something.
Oh, so they like draw on an account that you already have established with them. I see.
Oh yeah, once you put the money in, then you go up and down based on your winnings and losings.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you for going over that with me.
No, this is, what we do and want to do. Very good. Wow, that was quite interesting.
This was a really fun session. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
There's a lot of congruence.
Right. Multiple confirmations. Let's again just have to keep having fun, and I'm looking forward to an under game. But if it doesn't happen, I'm still having fun, and I think that's got to be the attitude.
Okay.
So with that, let's end this, unless there are any other questions or comments or anything like that.
No.
Denver's going to win this. I've got to root for Denver. There's just, yeah, they beat the
Okay.
Patriots, so.
They're the
Well,
underdogs.
I have no head attachments to any of these teams. I don't pay attention to football at all, so I think that's in this respect is very good because I have no allegiances to anybody and I don't analyze any of the situations.
right. That's how I feel too. I just love the ARVing part. But if you're attached to Denver, you can make a lot of money with the underdog if they win.
Well, I doused it actually. It's not so much the attachment to Denver. I just doused it before. I didn't realize we were dowsing for over under. I thought we were dowsing for lose or win.
Oh, okay.
So I went ahead and doused it, and I got Denver. So.
Well, you might want to bet a little bit on it, and you can make almost 2.5 times whatever you put down. That's pretty good.
I'll grab two of my targets and do another session.
You can do a parlay too on the over/under and the winning team.
That's right. You have a lot of choices now if you believe them, but I don't know. I'm getting turned off a little bit to parlays. I mean, they're really just all the odds and everything are the same. Maybe if
it's designed to suck you dry.
That's right. You know, people bet a little, but the probability of winning a parlay, even with what we're doing, does go down. I mean, if you're at 70%, think about it. Now you have to win 2. That's 0.7 times 0.7. So now, even with a 70% probability of a win to do 2, you're at 0.49. You're at like 50% now. So what I've been doing is just wagering them independently. So counting on the 70%, but independently rather than parlay. But that's just me. Everybody does, what feels right for them. Okay, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye. Keep precogging, and thank you for coming. This was a lot of fun.
Okay. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.